Happy Saturday and welcome to the Ramashram Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you will learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Shivangi and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief overview to this Satsang session. Please direct your attention to the screen and you will see that the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our lives. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin this practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of satsang. When we meditate, our consciousness is withdrawn from worldly objects and directed inward to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, leading to higher states of consciousness such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of satsangs, inner satsang and outer satsang. An example of outer satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. This is the type of satsang we will learn today where we meditate in silence. Group sessions. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy that we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today's session consists of three parts: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a satsang topic, our founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, instructions on how to meditate will be given, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you will have the opportunity to ask questions or there will be a panel discussion. And now, I would like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of satsang experience. He is the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ramashram Satsang. He was born into a satsang family where he witnessed his family members obtaining states of enlightenment and live lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. During this time, he witnessed the positive effects that satsang could have on mankind. Upon arriving in the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsangs for local satsangis. He has led teams of satsang members in translating important satsang literature into English and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more accessible to Western and English speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of satsang as taught by our Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
Thank you, Shivangi. Happy Saturday, everyone. Lately we have been talking about mental resilience, and I want to, in next couple of weeks, want to continue to focus on the topic because One, it seems very relevant in the current culture, environment, and things that we are dealing with on day-to-day basis. So far, what we have talked about is physical resilience, mental resilience, and spiritual awareness are all interconnected. And, you know, in a way, we, you know, we can focus on either and it'll be helpful. But because they're so interconnected that uh, focusing on one will help the other and vice versa. So trying to be resilient as a human being, you need to be thinking about your physical well-being, you need to think about your psychological well-being, and you need to think about beyond that, uh, you know, uh, higher consciousness, higher awareness. It's just, you know, for lack of better words, it's just being at a higher state. Um, you feel better, um, you know, interact better, um, uh, you know, the decision making. And I grew up in satsang, as Shivangi was saying. There's so many things that when I think about mental resilience, um, you know, they are kind of uh, integral to um, satsang. Like service is very integral to satsang, which, you know, it's less to talk about, more to do. But as we have discussed in the past, when you serve, the the kind of return that you get within, it's like the happiness, the joy. Um, it's hard to describe, but service of others gives give gives you you know, a state just by doing that without expecting anything from anyone else. Just the act of serving others uplifts you. um, so all this is and then how you connect with others, and serving others is connecting with others in a way. um, you know, we talk about connectivity in very shallow form. Real connection is when you think, and we have talked about this at length in the past sessions, that once you get the light, love is right, um, you know, next to it. So, and last session we talked about, you know, being not getting perturbed when you're like, you know, happy and sad, love and hate. These are like two states. Sometimes you gain something, sometimes you lose something, but your ability to cope with either of those states in a way that internally your joyous state doesn't change. That, you know, in um, terms of samadhis, it's you know, sahad samadhi, which is a natural state which we should get to, where you know, the ups and downs don't affect you that much. But that's resilience. So that when I connected those two dots, because in one of the chapters uh, in the 7 volume 28 chapter book, it's like, um, you know, last year I talked a lot about the 18th chapter, where the mysteries of peace. But you know, when I started thinking about resilience, the 19th chapter, which talks about this higher state that you gain from practicing satsang becomes very relevant. And I never connected this with resilience, but now um, suddenly I realized that what Guru Maharaj is saying is that once you gain mental resilience through this practice, you you know now you're aware of emotions, you have more self-control and hence control in emotions as well. And I'm talking about, like, I'm trying to connect. So there was a paper on 7 C's of resilience, and I think in the next couple of weeks I'll try to connect how those 7 C's, uh, you know, um, and it's a pretty good research article, uh, you know, regarding resilience. But all that is inbuilt in this practice. So, so going back to that 19th chapter, so the one statement that always kind of resonated with me a lot, which his statement was, once you gain mental resilience through your practice, all you need to do is continue that to be more spiritually aware. And so basically, your mental faculties, your uh, you know capabilities of your brain, which are dormant, through concentration, through focus, through meditation, when you gain some, those dormant capabilities uh, become active, your ability to control yourself is higher. And because of that, because of better functioning of the brain, like, I mean, one thing that I've heard again over and over through that this practice helps you make better decisions. And the idea is actually, in the context of satsang, the idea was not about like you make better decisions to gain this and gain that. It was more about better decisions to understand that everything you have is like not permanent, and hence you need to have connection to something which is more permanent, and hence the gains and loss and uh, things that you are attached to, when they're not there, you don't get so completely out of your elements. uh, that is what this practice um, gets you to. So today, for a few more minutes, what I wanted to do was to, over, I would say, years, we have talked about the pyramid, the 5 steps to um, higher state, 5 steps to inner peace, 5 steps to nirvana, whatever we want to say. So from being very materialistic to very spiritually aware and higher consciousness states. So realm of the world, realm of life, realm of mind, realm of knowledge, realm of love. And this, this is the model that um, it's a very ancient model described Panchkosh, or 5 realms. Um, and you have to cross these 5 realms to be in this ocean of peace. Um, so interestingly, the way Guru Maharaj, described his take on the practice that we will do now was that we start in the realm of mind instead of starting from the bottom. So basically, straight away get into mental resilience. So basically, the practice focuses on concentration, focus of your mind, and that concentration and inward orientation, uh, uh, which is integral to this practice. And this meditation uh, focuses on the mind. There is no activity, which is typically like activity-based meditations are in the realm of life. And inner meditation, so what Shivangi was referring to, this is an inner pursuit. Inward orientation, concentration, and meditation, those all three are integral to this practice. So Guru Maharaj said that instead of bottom up approach, you start in the middle. So it's a middle of the road approach. And hence, what you first build in this practice is mental resilience. And once you're mentally resilient, your ability to make better decisions around your physical well-being, what you eat, how your lifestyle, and so on and so forth, helps you to be physically resilient as well. And as Guru Maharaj stated, once you are mentally resilient, if you don't invest the powers that you get, or rather dissipate them, or, instead of converging the energy and channelizing the energy, if you deplete it in some way, shape, or form, which he gives various examples of, which I'll skip for now. And if you continue to channelize your energy, that means if you continue to focus on this practice beyond that, then the realm of knowledge, which is the where light appears, it becomes your practice. Instead of in the lunar phase, now gets into solar phase. So your light, your knowledge, your ability to see better appears first. And in that light, you see that you're more connected with the world, with the nature, with the consciousness. Every conscious being is part of the same, they're made up of the same consciousness that you're made up of. And hence appears the love. And the realm of love is selfless, pure, and unconditional state of love, and that is those two, that light and love, become the foundation for constant and this ocean of peace, and that's where you would be if you continue the practice. We have also, I'm realizing we haven't talked that much about the hurdles, and so yeah, we all want to be resilient, but what are the difficulties? What are the things that instead of making us channelized energy, that energy gets depleted on a daily basis. So let's do the opposite. So let's practice now, and try to, instead of letting our energies and focus go outwards, and that's a non-ending stream. That's like investing. So now you invest in yourself. Push your focus inwards, because peace is inside. What we're looking for, the joy, is inside. So let's focus on that. Let's concentrate on it. So to concentrate, mind is, through five senses, going everywhere. So how do we concentrate? So we need something to start with. and then we drop that too. But so to get to a thought free state, first you come from the multitude of thoughts to one thought. And typically that could be a mantra, it could be some chanting and so on and so forth. There's so many ways to, um, even music helps us concentrate. But then what you realize is that until unless you're so deep in it, your thoughts are continuing to go everywhere. Even when we are beginning and we start, um, you know, you start to meditate, you start to focus, and mind goes somewhere else. Um, so this ability to focus on one thing and one thing alone is the step 6 in the 8-step Ashtanga Yoga that Maharishi Patanjali talked about. So Guru Maharaj took 4 of those meditative practices, put this all together and packaged it in this practice. So uh, to achieve inward orientation, eyes lightly closed and still and relaxed posture. And now focus on this transcendental energy. You can think of whatever is a conscious source of that energy. So this energy in form of light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming completely and totally immersed in this light. Mind wanders away, which it will. Just bring it back to this thought and this thought alone. So here we are not doing anything. We're just observing this transcendental energy in form of light that's entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are getting completely and totally immersed in this light. And we'll start with music that helps concentration, then music fades away and we go deep into silent meditation on this transcendental light. And in deep meditation, higher consciousness, higher awareness, and just that those states appear on their own. So let's start now. So happy Saturday, everyone, and glad that we are here in Satsang. Um, typically, you know, so one thing I wanted to reiterate was do not underestimate uh, the transition in and transition out. Um, we are caught up in so many things, so getting into deep meditation, a proper transition in is important. And then what you have imbibed um, and connected with in terms of transcendental energy, transition out is time to absorb. And so think of transition out as, something that, yes, we'll go and do what we need to do. But in a way, in one of the meditation videos, it was articulated that don't be in a hurry to, uh, quote unquote, get out of this mode. This is the absorption time. It's like when you take a walk or when you sleep, your neurons get reconnected. So after meditation, some period to absorb that is very, very important. And so typically, uh, Guru Maharaj used to um, talk about concepts to describe the practice, and so not just very focused on the concepts, but stories and inspirations and so on and so forth as well. Um, so here we, in the transition out, we also, just open it up for discussion and questions and observations and comments. So feel free. So as usual, Liz and Steve, if you feel it's something you want to talk about today. And
I will just say happy Saturday to everyone. It was great to meditate with you, as it always is, and I'm still processing the words of wisdom that you imparted today. I liked what you said about mental resilience and how building it is worth the pursuit, because if we I think what I was thinking about when you said that was, I know that there's like, I can't point to exactly which ones, but there have been studies that have shown that when you meditate, you are building new neurons, or you're restructuring the way your brain thinks.
Reconnecting, yeah.
And so, it's sort of like that sort of helps. It's preventative in a way, yeah, for when not so great things happen, or when you encounter stressful situations. You already have fortification through the sort of resilience that you've built. It's just a stronger structure, actually, to be able to encounter life. It helps you, I think. And it works similar to, in some ways, medication. It's a natural medication, because when you take medication for whatever it is, anxiety, depression, whatever, it does alter your brain, and such that you can approach a situation differently than how you would without it. Except that meditation is natural, and it does the same thing. It reorganizes the same way. It does require work, right? More work. And some people, sadly, they may not have the time or like the patience, whatever. So they go through for the quick, and that's fine, but meditation does the same thing. So anyway, I was just thinking that.
Actually, you pointed out something I skipped somehow. It was on my mind, but when you talked about, it's a more of a preventative approach, where if you were doing this, you know, you will build the resilience because of which you would be able to tackle when you require resilience. So Kabir Das ji, he was Indian sage and a great poet with very, very deep uh, spiritual meaning to his words. One said that, if we were to, and I'm paraphrasing here, that if we were to remember, um, you know, when we are happy, so it's like, then sadness would not come. So it's another thing that I actually read, and it kind of, after reading, it was like, it was food for thought. So Dalai Lama, one of the doctors on the West Coast, wrote a book, I think, Art of Happiness, with Dalai Lama, and basically in the foreword itself, he says that the entire psychology and psychiatry here in the West is focused more on solving the problems, but why not focus on, preventing those problems and think more about happiness and uplifting and, being on the higher ground and being more resilient. So his work actually resulted in a lot of universities now have positive psychology, as a subject as well. So it's yeah. I mean, preventative work is always better, but yeah, it's a catch-22 though. And Shaolin, if there is any question or comment, please feel free. And
Hi.
hello.
This was my first time doing your session. I must say, when I was listening to your comments before, and where you were saying where you must just try, your mind is so busy, but you try to draw everything to kind of one thought or idea while you're trying to meditate. My mind was very busy, and I was actually even like busy while you were talking as well. And when I was started meditating and the music was playing, I tried to just like focus on one thing. Particularly, I was thinking of like trying to bring myself into my heart space, and I was trying to just feel like to bring some peace, connecting to source, and just bringing some peace in that. And even though I drifted from that, I brought myself back to that again every time. And so I would have like these busy thoughts, but now that I've come, and when the music started playing again for us to come out of the meditation, and I actually felt more peaceful, even though I had those busy thoughts during the course of the meditation, but I can feel in my body and everything, they definitely, by focusing, trying to bring everything to that one thought, there definitely was a settling of whatever was going on in my mind and in my body. So
True.
something was happening.
I do agree. It's like, sleep. If you keep thinking about, I need to sleep, I'm sleeping or not, but when you sleep, when you wake up, how do I find out I had good sleep? So if you feel refreshed, it was a good sleep, right? It's something like that. And see, that is why there's also practice, because the way my grandfather structured this was to help people who are not able to concentrate. This whole packaging, which is, there is a whole set of transition in, then instruction, then go into meditation. Traditionally, there were prayers that you will sing, and that itself will bring you into this mode, and then some more prayers, then some more discussion. All that basically becomes uh, so you have to have an individual practice, but in a group, effortlessly. So I was about to tell you that meditation, in what I've read and what I have experienced, is it should be effortless. Now, easier said than done, of course, but when you see, thoughts come in, instead of trying to do this and trying to do that, just observe. And one illustration of that is like when kids are, creating a ruckus in a classroom, teacher comes in, just by teacher's presence, some semblance of order comes in. Not necessarily all of it, but so your observation of your thoughts, like observing rather than trying to do something about it, that is a good, step towards, getting to a more focused and concentrated state.
Thank you for that. I'll definitely try to remember that next time.
So yeah, I mean, we meet, every Saturday, same time, 10 a.m. Eastern here, and so group sessions are supposed to provide like almost like a heavy dose, and then individual sessions are the foundation that you're building. As Liz was mentioning, all the things that happen during the meditation are things that help you build this mental resilience, which then helps you build not only physical resilience, but spiritual awareness as well. And I have seen that happen over and over and over. So that is what convinces me that this is worth pursuing. But I've also seen that, finding people who are really resilient, to tell you the truth, most of us, including, it's like somewhere in his several books that Guru Maharaj wrote, he says that as you build your defenses, your tests become stronger, heavier, more intense as well. So that's somehow part of it as well. So Arvindji, Anitaji, anything? How are you? I can't
Namaskar.
hear. Namaskar. Now I can hear you. Yeah.
Namaskar. And happy Saturday. It was so good to join Satsang again and feel that bliss, that transcendental energy you kindly bring and help us, with the deep feeling of peace that is indescribable. And Luz and you were saying rightly so, the resilience is absolutely key. So much scientific evidence with that. But most importantly, it is that resilience that allows us to progress in life, in a more stable and calm and peaceful way. The energy was fantastic. So we're fortunate to be here, Bhaiya. Thank you.
So I hope you are, enhancing your initial, article that you were collecting on mental resilience. So just knock, knock, it's a
Thank you. I
reminder.
was absolutely, I was slipping up. And you rightly say, I'll work on it. Definitely. I'll work on it. I mean, as a practicing doctor for 35 years, it was different. And now that I'm retired, I look back at neurology and there's so much to learn, especially in the way of this transcendental energy and resilience, and how the changes in the brain happen that are secondary to that energy. Secondary, everything is secondary to that. And science is trying to catch up, so forgive me. I'm one of those trying to catch up.
No, see, for everybody else, I know Arvindji since I was in middle school, high school, and so I'm just remembering, like, my father was, guiding PhD students in thermodynamics and quantum mechanics and all of that fun stuff. And then he retires, and even before retirement, just uh, he used to visit people who could not come to visit him, and just um, share this practice with them. That was his focus, rather than going deeper in quantum mechanics. So in his mind, that obviously this was more important, I guess.
The one thing, if I may, Pujabaya, say that it is the selfless love that one has experienced. And I was fortunate to know you as a friend and now as a guru. And to be fair, the experience of that selfless, blissful
Excuse
love is
me,
beyond.
excuse me. I think
Sorry.
you heard something which, I think Guru Maharaj himself mentioned that for all friends, brother, father,
Yeah,
uncle, his view was like, let's not create any
yeah.
barriers. Uh,
Thank you.
right. And I think freely just share what
Yeah,
works for you, so that if
absolutely.
people can find something useful there, great. Otherwise, you tried. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In the roller coaster of life, the bliss and the love is the one thing. If someone was to ask me what has been the most important thing in my life, it has been meeting your father. It has been that, and nobody. It's experiential,
No,
and I'm
actually,
fortunate.
now that you're reminding me, so um, you know, um, it it's uh, s- so um, I just remembered that I was in one of these, you know, urban retreats that Guru Maharaj designed, where 3 days, 5 sessions, and you kind of get, it's a transformative experience, and it happens in all northern Indian cities. Um, so I go once or twice a year, and one of those events, like, I uttered my, I was talking about my father, and there were like a couple of people just, tears just freely flowing, and
Yep.
yeah, it's the impact that Guru Maharaj and his other leaders he created, in the sense of, he just like, um, I'm at a state which you can achieve too, and I can help you do that. And like, Panditji Maharaj, um, uh, whose 125th birth anniversary would be later this year, or on the 1st of January next year. So I'll be traveling for that, hopefully. And, he just traveled and traveled and traveled throughout India. Um, to places where people didn't have, and my father used to say that too. Like, I go to places where people just do not have enough money to be able to even come to these events, or these suburban retreats. So he will, and they were like the entire village would just come and meet, greet, and oh my goodness, I have been to one of those, and where the entire village was like lighted. It was colorfully decorated for Panditji Maharaj near Sagar. Actually, my brothers visited that place recently. Amazing. Well, any last thoughts before we wrap up? And look forward to seeing you all soon. So, Onkar. So what's the last word before we wrap up today?
Last words, Bhaiya, I was actually completely, immersed in the today's session. So like, I don't have anything. When the satsang ended, you just told me that you need time to just absorb that thing. So that's all I was doing.
Just absorb. Yeah, that works. No, actually, I was looking at one of the videos again, talked about what the art of receiving energy. So this transcendental energy. So transcendental energy is like phenomenal, cosmic, anything that beyond, far beyond that. Like, so, in our solar system, sun is the star, but there are like millions of stars and so on and so forth. And all that energy, imagine that energy, and that you connect with it. So first is connection, and connection requires orientation towards that. So orientation, connection, and then storing it. So ability to store that. So not only you receive, but then your ability to store. So that's absorption. That's what you're talking about. And then once you embody that energy, then you can utilize it when, like, the solar energy, the solar cells can store, and then at night it could light up the lamp. So that's how you could utilize it. So so your capacity, needs to increase, and as you do that, your absorption. So how much are you able to absorb, and it, so how long, how consistent, how deep is your connection? So all that is the interesting technicalities here. So on that note, glad that we were here in Satsang, and it was a phenomenal session, and looking forward to one again. Light, love, and peace be with you, and see you all soon. Thank you. Take care now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye everyone.